Hello everyone, this is Nel Academy and we are going to start biology senior 3 by using Rwandan curriculum. So we are going to start with the unit number 1. Yes, let's start. The unit number 1 biology senior 3 is interdependence among organisms in an ecosystem. By the end of this unit, I should be able to, which means he's saying about it's a student. Yes, you student who is watching this video, at the end of this unit should be able to define and differentiate between intraspecific and the interspecific relationship in the ecosystem using relevant examples. Number 2, discuss positive and negative effect of a competition among individuals of the same species and between those from different species. Identify features allow predator to kill and feed on its prey. Yes, the last 3 appreciate the interdependence of living organisms in an ecosystem. First of all, before proceeding and get into it, so we should ask ourselves, what is interdependence? To me, interdependence, it means you need something or someone to help you to do something or to survive or to pass anything that is hard for me or something that you need to be to live. Yes, interdependence means that all living organisms rely on one another in some way to survive. So it can happen through direct relationships, indirect. So such as like a direct, it's yes, direct, it's like someone or living things come and they participate in a way so that you can survive. For example, bee pollinating a flower while collecting and the bee while collecting its nectar, which always when the bee get the food through the nectar and the flower get pollinated. So in indirect, it's like, for example, it's like how the predator control population in its prey, which indirectly affect plants' life. For example, the predators feed on the mostly herbivores. So as the number of prey which are herbivores are somehow reduced, which means the plant population will grow. Yes, that is how the indirect relation can be. So some examples are mutualistic, commensalistic, and parasitic. Yes, we see as we go through this lesson, as we go far. Yes, organism. Yes, organism in an ecosystem depend on one another in two main ways. There is one way which is interspecific interaction, and another way is the one is the intraspecific interaction and another is the interspecific interaction. Intraspecific interaction, it means the organisms of the same species depend on one another. For example, you can say how a lion can depend on another lion, how a human can depend on another human, yes, something like that. On interspecific, which means the different species can depend on one another or can depend on one another. Yes, different species, which means you can say like human and the plants, like cows and the plants, and the grasses, so something like that. So let's talk about the intraspecific relationships. Intraspecific relationships occur between organisms of the same species. For examples, lions. Example about lions, for example, females hunt while the males protect the pride, protect the territory, protect where they are staying, protect the the male rhinos do the protection where the males hunt for the food, yes, for that. And the bees are some of the organisms, some of the species, their species, they are is somehow complicated, not complicated, but they work together. Bees work together, we gather food together, yes. For example, here they on intraspecific relationship, bees work together to find food, the soldiers, while which means they divide the lab, they divide the lab among themselves. Some protect the queen, other work for food, so like something like that. Yes. Now you're going to see the interspecific aqua between organisms in the same space can be into two forms. One form is the competition, another is the cooperation. Competition, which means to compete, they compete. The same species compete for something, compete for resources such as food, water, space. So, for example, you can see in a human population, human being, they compete for such of things because they're the same species, but they compete. Yes, that is the form that can form one of the forms in the inter-specific relationships. Yes, in the competition can be intraspecific and interspecific. You can ask me, or you can ask yourself why, how between organisms of the same species. Um, Between organisms of the same species, yes, they can compete, as you see from the previous slides, and the how the interspecies competition can happen between organisms. Example, they are giving the two examples: the wildebeests and the zebras both eat grasses. Both eat grasses, sometimes of the same time, or the same grasses of the same species, which they compete for that grasses, which is they are competing for the same food, yes, which is the interspecific. They are different species, but they are competing for the same, yes, for the same resources. Yes, competition, and this is and they are saying how that the competition can occur between organism with similar ecological natures. Yes, so now we're seeing the outcomes of the competition. Yes, when the animals compete, the better adapted organism survives. The less adapted may die, migrate, or shift to different ecological niche for their survival. Yes. Now let's go to cooperation. Cooperation means to cooperate, to means to work together. So in interspecific relationship, the interaction of organisms of the same species live and work together by dividing the tasks. You can also from the previous slides, we saw it in the in the bees. Bees can also be cooperative. Yes. Here the another example they give us is Yes, social insects like ants, yes, ants, the termites and the bees. These organisms cooperate in activities like gathering food, defending the colony, and the caring for the young. The cooperation strengthens the survival and success of the group as a whole. Yes. So, as a student every student who is watching this video, I want you to make your self-evaluation from the what you for about the intraspecific relationships, what you studied, we have now studied, and see if you can try about these tests. Yes, the question one, I think it's simple, we have seen it. Question two, also, I think there's no hard question here, so you should try all of it, and you should say it in the comments. So let us go to the part 2, interspecific relationship. Interspecific relationship involve interaction between organisms of different species. This relationship can take many forms, including we will see about parasitism, predation, grazing, competition, mutualism, neutralism, commensalism, commensalism, aeropathy. Yes, aeropathy. Now let's start from parasitism. Parasitism, it is non-mutual, which means there is no gain for both organisms, which is no gain for both organisms. One organism, the parasite, benefits at the expense of another, which is the host. Which means in parasitism, commonly or mostly the hosts are big and parasites are small. So the parasites go on or inside the host, or live on or inside the host. Their characteristics now. Parasites feed on the host for nutrients. They usually do not intend to kill the host, but may weaken eventually and kill it. Yes. So we are going to see some adaptation which allows the parasites to survive on the host, or how survive on the host, yes, or in the host. Smaller than the host, yes. They have fast reproduction, specialized organs for attachment. Sometimes they have that attaching. For example, in the cows, this is a tick can attach to the cow for a long period of time. Yes, can survive in a rock environment. Yes. So we're gonna see the types of the parasites. We're going to see the endoparasites, which I was saying before. Endoparasite live inside the host. Example: the tapeworms, trypanosoma, live fluks, and roundworms. So some of these live in the person, for example. Yes, some of these can live in the person. So these are one of these worms. Yes, like for example the tapeworms. Now do we have the ectoparasites? They live outside of the host. Example: tick, which can be live on a cow. We have flea. So these are the types of the parasites. Yes. So now let's shift on the effect of the parasites. Causes in humans, animals, and the crops. Cause diseases, cause diseases in humans, animals. Some parasites, you know it, you know them. They cause many problems in crops, in humans and animals. Can slow down the growth rates of the host. Yes, as they are feeding on the nutrients from the host, and they reduce their populations. Yes, for example, potato blight and the ringworm in the human. Yes, predation. Predation is a predation. Yes, um, predation is also one form of inter inter interspecific relationship. Predation is a relationship which one organism, which is a predator, hunts, kills, and eat another, the prey, for food. For example, lion killing gazelle, spider catching an insect. These are feeding on the insect, which means the predator always hunt or kills and eats the prey for food. The predator's food is the prey. So, for example, you see how the lion, you see, I've already killed the gazelle here, and she is eating it. Yes, he's eating the zebra. Predator. Now we're going to see the how predator adapt to catch the prey. Yes, predator have sharp senses. Yes, senses for locating the prey, hunting tools like teeth. Yes, teeth, sharp teeth, and the claws and the venom. Yes, something like that. Their speed and agility. The predators are speedster. Some is camouflage, so they can somehow know how to hide for catching the prey. Special structures like long tongues in frogs for the frogs use that long tongue for catching that insect. Yes, sharp eyes in eagles. You see the eagles are and the sky, high in the sky, so they have the sharp eyes. Yes. Another is how prey. Yes, camouflage to hide. Yes, hard shells, some hard shells. Yes, spines, toxic chemicals for protection, speed and agility to escape. Some of preys have the speed, right? Yes, you can see in the how do we call that, weed rabbit, the hare. Yes, the hare has a speed, and yes, has speed, and speedster. Effect of the predation. Effect is it controls, yes, control the population size of both prey and predator, create balance. As a prey, yes, as a prey increase, the predator population grows. As a prey decrease, the predator population due to the lack of food. Some of them will die, or yes, something like that. And this cycle, which means it regulates the ecosystem. Yes, then to balance the ecosystem. Now, grazing. Grazing is action of or done by the herbivores like cows, goats, and sheep, to which they feed on the grasses and other plants and that kind of plants. So grazing, it's a feeding method that we see every day in our lives. We see in our goats, we see in our cattle. So I think there is no other thing I can say about that. It's yes, it's also the one of the interspecific relationship. Now let's see the grazing. Yes, primary they get, yes, that is right. Yes. Now let's on number D, mutualism. Yes, mutualism, a relationship where the interacting species benefits, all interacting both species benefit. which enhances the survival, growth, or fitness for both organisms. Examples: cow, goats, cow or goats plus good and the good bacteria, which means this bacteria go into the go there and they break down the cellulose, so which help the cows for digestion and the bacteria get shelter and the nutrients there. So for example, cows and white egrets, we see it in the when we are taking our cattle to grazing ground, or to, yes, we see the white egrets walking or flying alongside the cows, yes. So the white egrets at the ticks or parasite or the insect that is flying around the cow while cow is walking in the there in the pasture, yes. Bees and flowering plants, yes, we saw it in the bees get nectar and the flowers get pollinated. Yes, you see here like it's like mutualistic relationship being flower, yes. White egrets, this zebra grazing, yes. This is, yes. Neutralism, which is neutral. There is no one of them, neither there is no effect for interacting species. Uh, it's rare and hard proof, as most interactions have some effect, but we have the example: the deer, hares, and frogs can live in the same grassland without affecting each other. So because they are not using the same resources. Yes, they feed on different resources. So that's why they say it's neutral. There is no species that harm another or anything that can happen between them. Yes, nothing can happen between them. Yes, we are going to commensalism. In commensalism, here the one species cannot be affected or harmed, but another species can benefit from the interaction. For example, the sharks and the remora fish. The remora eats the left food from the shark's prey. Shark is unaffected and it doesn't care about that. So, which means the shark is not harmed or is not affected, but the remora, which means it's getting the benefit from getting the food from that left of us. For example, another example, you have the mites and flying insect, yes, like wasp and beetle. Yes, the mites use them for transport while they are flying. Yes, amentarism. We have the amentarism. Um, we it's somehow like, yes, here the one organism is harmed, obviously is harmed, but while the another is unaffected, not affected, yes, is not affected. uh it's better to explain this with the examples. For example, the cattle hooves crushing the grasses. The grass dies, but the cattle are unaffected. You see how the cow is going into grasses, and some are baying, cut from the cows for the cow's movement with the powerful legs, so they can die, they can somehow be broken, but the cow is not affected, but the grasses dies or broken. Another example in the tall trees with dense canopy. Do you think the tall trees with the ridge and big branches can block the light from the another plant that is under that ridge and ridge trees, so they can block this, prevent that sunrise from that smaller plant which growing underneath, which means it's hard for them to grow. So a mutualism, you can memorize it or you can know it. It's an interaction where one species is harmed while others is not affected. Yes. Yes, we see here the plant canopy in the forest. Yes. Yes, in forest you see it. The red trees are blocking this underneath plants for getting the sunlight. Yes. Aeropathy is an interaction where the one plant provide or produce the chemicals that inhibit growth of the nearby plants. It's a and they said it's a survival strategy for that that plant that freezes the chemicals, because it reduces competition. It get the water, the right and nutrients on their own, because there's no surrounding plant, because the chemicals have already inhibited the growth of the other plants or killed them. So we can get some more plant produce chemicals like aerochemicals that affect the germination, growth, survival of the plant. The chemicals can have yes, positive and negative effects on neighboring plants. Plants that produce chemicals harmful that are called aeropathic. Yes, these plants are called aeropathic. Examples of aeropathic plants include eucalyptus, maple, pine trees. For example, eucalyptus, it's a tree that we see every day, and we have it in our forest, alongside the roads. We can see it. The trees pull more water from the soil with their roots, making it hard for other plants to survive nearby. The maple trees releases chemicals that inhibit germination or development of nearby plants. These chemicals are often released through the leaves that can be toxic to the other plants. You see, when the leaves are yes, the leaves, you can see that where the leaves of that plant are, there's no other plant that can grow there beside that tree or that kind of species that have those chemicals. Yes, example here have the eucalyptus, but I see the image is somehow, yes, it's somehow is it I don't know why, but it's